what the improvement you've seen with what Lamar has done. And your dad said the other day a couple plays that he would have probably not made last year.
Yeah, I mean, I think you can see it, his presence in the pocket, how calm he is in there. I mean, for one instance, that third down throw he had to Dez over the middle, when he hit that read route, he got through his progression. He did a really good job going through his progression, and that's probably one of the plays he's talking about where he might not have seen it last year. But, I mean, just his calmness in the pocket. I mean, you could see it in practice all last year, but then when he got in the games, his feet got a little happy. And, I'm really happy about how calm he is this year in the pocket. And, he's getting through his progressions, and he's not, he's really playing within himself and playing within the offense. So it's going good.
The read to Dez, was that the second read, third read? What was that?
It was really the third. So he had an alert that he looked at first, and then he goes, and kind of keys a linebacker whether he goes high or low. So it was really kind of getting to his third, read in the progression. What
about the play to Jalen that he stepped up, avoided the rut? I mean, is that another one kind of?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's just a play that you don't see most people make. I mean, his ability to, first it should have been picked up. We should have been able to get the tight end to fan out and get it. But his ability to see the guy coming and step up, and then really what I was really excited to see was get his body back under himself and get her in control and make that throw. I mean, that's something you don't see a lot of guys make, a throw like that. And, it was really him getting himself back under balance and, being under control like that. That's what really helped him make that throw.
What do you see on tape from the first 2 games from Clemson?
I mean, they got a really good defensive front. I mean, their front seven, their D-line, their linebackers. I mean, even their secondary, they're really solid. They like to bring a lot of pressure. They like to try to make it as uncomfortable as possible for the offense. And I mean, they're a really well-coached team. And that's one thing we've been doing these past 2 days is really getting into the game plan and everything. So, I think we got a pretty good game plan to go after them. So.
What can you do to neutralize their pressure? They had 11 sacks last week. They got veteran guys who are NFL quality players.
I mean, we just got to be able to get the ball out of our hand. That's one thing you saw in that Auburn game. That guy was holding the ball a lot, and we got to find ways to be able to help Lamar get the ball out of his hand fast, and we just got to do a good job of helping Lamar out. I don't want to say too much, but I mean it's part of the game plan. It's something they do. They like to bring a lot of pressure, and you got to be able to know how to counteract that. And there's places where you can get guys open. So
Nick, one of the things, I mean, Lamar looks like he wants to win every down. And so sometimes how do you coach that with a give up down or a get the ball out quick versus, hey, I want to make a play? Yeah,
I think that's something. I mean, the one thing from the game when he got spinned around, he tried to throw the ball. Yeah, that's something where he's got to throw the ball away instantly.
Yeah.
It's a learning process for him because there's times where you throw the ball away and all of a sudden he'll make a play and you're like, oh yeah, I don't want to say anything now. So it's hard, but there are certain situations he's really got to learn, depending on the situation of the game, that he's got to take care of the ball, take care of himself, and know when to just throw it away and move on to the next play.
Is that sort of what film study with him is like?
Yeah, I mean, that was a big part of it this summer, watching a lot of the plays from last year. Certain situations where we lost yards from sacks that he should have never taken and situations like that. So, I mean, it hadn't happened. It's really the one play this year where, it happened again, and I got right on him after it. So,
what are those film study sessions like? I mean, obviously there's some things you can say, but obviously he makes up a lot of mistakes with athleticism.
Yeah.
Is he eager to correct those mistakes too, or sometimes you just have to?
Yeah, he is. And what was good is right after that one happened, he knew it. He was pointing at himself. He knew he should have just thrown it away. But I mean, there's a fine line to it because there's sometimes he makes a play that nobody else can make, and but you still got to coach him on it. Still got to go through the situations of the game. And hey, if this was this certain situation, you might just need to throw that ball away. And so it kind of depends on situations and what's going on in the game at the time.
How much has it helped him? It seems like you guys have thrown to the back, out of the backfield more. Yeah. Is that something he's gotten better at? Because it doesn't seem like you did it a lot last year.
Yeah, I mean, he's gotten better at it. I mean, I think that's one of our, emphasis is getting the ball to those two running backs too. Reggie and Malik. I think they're a big part of that also, and getting them the ball out in space and letting them run and make plays. And but part of that in the last game, that's what they were giving us. So Lamar did a good job of just taking it. You know, there was different reads down the field where he could have went to the curl, but the defense was just giving him easy completion. So he took it all day, and that's what he's supposed to do.
How we between pocket presence, reads, is the accuracy progressing as well? I mean, how much do you think he's stepped forward from last year, especially with people saying he couldn't do those things?
Yeah, I mean, I think he's come, a long way. I think his accuracy is there. You know, there's certain times where, it's still a process. He's still like the one throw to Dez in the end zone on a touchdown. He could have closed his shoulder and been a lot more accurate with the ball. So there's still a lot to learn on certain aspects like that. But I think he has come a long way. With his just being comfortable in the pocket and not freaking out when he sees one little flash. And I think he's really improved a lot in that area.
The progress that he's made from last year, how do you think that helps him maybe specifically against Clemson, knowing how talented their defensive front is?
I think it helps him because I think it'll help him in certain situations of getting the ball out of his hand faster. I think it'll help him in situations of knowing how to protect himself better, how to change protections and get certain things picked up. And, so I think that progression will help him a lot.
How much of a concern, you talk about protecting himself better, how much of a concern is that after you saw the film, the Clemson-Auburn film?
But I always mean as far as getting protections where, certain blitzes are coming.
Right.
You mean like when he's running and stuff? Or?
No, I meant what you're talking about.
It just
seeing the blitz packages they brought.
Seeing the different blitz packages is getting us in the right protections. So that's what I mean by protecting himself. Yeah.
You were around the first time as a kid, and now you saw last year's game against Florida State. How big is this moment for Louisville football in this program?
Yeah, I think it's big. I mean, coming up from back when I was in high school here, you never thought game day would come to Louisville. You never thought, Louisville would have those things. But to have it 2 years in a row now and to have, everybody's eyes on us here, I mean, it's big. It's a big moment. I think our players understand that, and they're going to be ready to go.
Do you guys allow a game like this to be a tone setter heading forward?
I think it basically is itself. There was a point all summer, just like the Florida State game was, it was right in this spot, almost the same spot as last year. So that was kind of a pushing point all summer, was getting ready for this game.
Good.